It's the 2019 FIA Certified Gran Turismo Championships World Tour 3 event, the grand final for the Nations Cup. Coming up here at Spa-Francorchamps, Mikail Hizal lines up on pole position in the Red Bull X 2019. Alongside Mick, it is Igor Fraga, the reigning Nations Cup champion. Row 2 on the grid is Cody Nicola-Lakowski. Keep an eye out for the Australian. Alongside Cody Nicola, it's Nicolas Roubillard, the winner of World Tour 1 in Paris. Third row of the grid, Takuma Miyazono, the fast Japanese driver. Alongside Takuma, it is Rayan de Rouge, who was so impressive in semi-final B at the Autopolis circuit. Koke Lopez lines up in 7th position. He'll be hoping for a better finishing position for him. Alongside him is Ryota Kokuba, 4th in semi-final B, of course. 9th position, Manuel Rodriguez, first in the repechage race. And alongside Manuel, it is Andrew Brooks, the Canadian driver, who just made it through to the repechage by the skin of his teeth. Now qualifies for the grand final. Danny Solis, the American driver, there's a lot of support for him here this afternoon in 11th position. And Jonathan Wong in 12th place here, Jimmy.
Massive cheer in the audience there with Danny Solis goes by. As you said, a lot of home support. And now we get our first glimpse of tyre strategies for our drivers. Mikail Hizal opting to start on the medium tyre. Interesting decision from him. And here are the cars we're using. Extreme vehicles in the Group X cars. I think there's not much more, many cars in the world that are more extreme than the Red Bull X 2019. They don't fit anywhere apart from this and, of course, prototypes. So, and there is our hot pick for the race, Mikail Hizal. He finished first in the semi-final. He's finished second a couple of times in this event. I think now this could be the time, but he's got a hell of a job ahead of him.
Certainly has. 20 laps of Spa-Francorchamps is not for the faint-hearted, and especially when you've got strategy to consider. Here is Mikail Hizal. He's on the bottom left-hand sled in the of your shot there. Igor Fraga alongside him, Cody Lakowski, Nicolas Roubillard, and that's, funnily enough, how they line up on the grid in the positions that they are on the sleds as well. Koke Lopez also in the top left-hand corner of your screen. The crowd going wild here in New York as we get ready then to get this one underway. Through the bus stop chicane we go. The applause and the cheers here in New York show as we are ready to get this race underway then. So lights out and away we go. Grand final for New York is underway in World Tour 3 for the Nations Cup. Down towards La Source for the first time we go. Hizal with the inside line with the race lead. Down in towards that first turn we go. Fraga versus Roubillard as they go side by side. And Roubillard shoveled out wide at La Source. Roubillard is shoveled out wide and he drops down massively through the field. And now it's Miyazono versus Lakowski for third position. Up through Eau Rouge and Radillion we go for the first time.
Hizal with a great start, that's what he wanted, but now he's going to be giving a toe to Fraga behind with a much better run through. Miyazono there in the background. Fraga goes to the outside almost instantly. Look at the run the Brazilian driver has on Mikail Hizal, and Fraga goes up into the lead before he even got down to Lake Com. Here we go then, hard on the brakes, and there you go. Fraga takes the lead. Mikail Hizal second, Miyazono for Lakowski in fourth, and Koke Lopez up to 5th position from 7th on the grid.
You expect Fraga to be quicker in these early stages. He's on the soft compound of tyres, whereas Mikail Hizal is on the medium, so that might hurt him in these opening stages. Keep an eye out as well for Rayan de Rouge, who was looking very aggressive in the Blue X 2019. There is Cody Lakowski now defending from Koke Lopez. Lopez has made 2 positions. He started down in 7th place. He's now already up inside the top 5. Meanwhile, it's all gone wrong, sadly, of course, for the man who was shuffled out wide in the first corner, Nicolas Roubillard. He's down into 11th position as these cars come ascending through Pouan for the first time.
Really important if you're on that subcompounder tyre to be getting through these guys as quick as possible. Miyazono in the hard compounder tyre, that's what he needs to be. He's holding up Lakowski, he's holding up Lopez behind in that subcompounder of tyre, and they aren't able to utilise the grip those softer compounds provide. Now coming through Stablo 1 and Stablo 2, and Fraga already has a 2-second lead over Mikail Hizal. That tyre difference really showing through the middle sector. Here is Lopez.
Get down in towards Blanchimont. We're going to go for the first time passing through that fast left-handed kink. They're going to be easily flat in these Red Bull X 2019 cars. A little bit of weaving there on the outside of that corner. You can see Koke Lopez there. Is he going to try and attack? You can see Miyazono defending against Lakowski. Lakowski's going for the outside line. He's going the inside line to the next corner, and Lakowski goes through into the left-hander. And Miyazono also losing out to Koke Lopez. Miyazono into the pits after lap 1.
I don't think he meant to do that, Tom. Either that or he's getting on the hard tyre as quick as possible. You saw as well when we were on board with Lopez, he was adjusting his wheel. He was turning down his fuel. He was trying to serve as much fuel as possible whilst in the draft they're using that up the hill. So here's Miyazono. He's gone for a very early pit stop. That's going to put him in traffic on the medium compounder tyre. I don't know if that's a good shout. Now, there's Solis at the back there. He had a bit of a terrible start. Not quite sure what happened to him. But he's in that hard compounder tyre too. So, your order after 1 lap. Igor Fraga leads Brazilian driver from Mikail Hizal in second. Cody Nicola-Lakowski in third. And Koke Lopez in fourth.
And there is Coque Lopez, the Spaniard as well, who really would like to get onto the podium. He'd love to qualify for the final. Here is Kokiman versus de Rouge. Down towards Lake Coon we go for the second time of RC. Up the inside there for Kokiman. He's now up into 5th place. Nice bit of driving there from the Japanese man. And now we can see Manuel Rodriguez, who's tried to challenge against Ryan de Rouge as well, as they close up on one another, but no opportunity for Rodriguez at the moment to be making those moves. But speaking of making moves, Rubelar is making his ascension back through the field. He's ahead of Jonathan Wong in 10th place. He's now into 9th, and now his next target is the Canadian Andrew Brooks. He's really wide, a bit of sliding coming out of that left-hander. So in towards the left-hander of Pouon we go once again there for Rubelar. So really not ideal there for him at the moment. He really needs to get himself in contention in this race. He's going to have a very hard task from this point of doing so. There is Lukovsky through the left-hander we go. Then in towards the right once again we are. And Lukovsky doing a good job there in 3rd position, but just doesn't seem to have the pace at the moment of the likes of Hizal and Fraga in front.
Jonathan Wong there goes up the inside of Andrew Brooks, coming into Stavilo 1, almost forced him off the circuit. Brooks out wide, gets a little bit sideways there, trying to come out of the exit of Stavilo 2, and that allows Rubelar to get back alongside. But Nico Rubelar starting with that soft compound tyre, that's a disaster for him. He's used up his fastest tyre whilst basically squabbling for 10th or 9th position, so he's really going to be suffering. And Miyazono comes back through in the medium compounds, so using that straight line speed, using the draft that is produced by these cars. And Miyazono, he wants another one up the inside of Brits there on the medium compound tyre. So Miyazono put it very early as the hard compound, making progress back for the real, and now Ryan de Rouge and Danny Solis coming to the pit lane.
Yeah, both of those drivers want to get off the hard compound as soon as possible. You can see visibly how much slower it is compared to the hard compound of tyres. There is Danny Solis in 11th position. Wasn't 11th position before he went to the pit lane. He'll emerge presumably in that same place. It's been a disappointing race so far there. Here is the tyre strategy on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, as you can see, and 2.4 seconds a lap slower for those hard compound tyres. Small wonder they want to shed it as soon as they can.
I've got to say, I think the tyres are slower, and I think the soft tyre is incredibly quick around here, given that Fraga has been 6 seconds of Mikail Hizal in only a couple of laps. That's amazing pace. So what we need to really look at is the gap between Hizal and Lukovsky, because they are both in the same compound tyre, and that gap is about a second at the moment. I think maybe Lukovsky being carried along there by Coque Lopez, also on the soft compound tyre, but he's being slowed up somewhat by these guys running on the medium.
Down towards Pouon, these drivers go through that left-hander. We are once again looking at Coque Lopez. He's now in the dirty air here, Jimmy, as well, of these X2019s. And, well, how effective is that on these cars? How much of a difference does it make when you're driving behind a car, especially in these tight and twisty corners, fast and flowing in some areas? But, yeah, it's not ideal, is it?
No, especially going through the fast left-hander Pouon. A very quick 5th gear corner. If you're following someone through there, you're basically being robbed of downforce because of the dirty air these cars tick up, which basically means in short terms you understand when you go flying off a circuit, you have to lift. But here's when you want to have the slipstream, is coming up the hill. You're not going through the same air the car in front of us, and it's very difficult. So here's a great example coming from here. Rubelar looks to the inside, pulls out from behind Brooks, who hasn't got to deal with the dirty air, and then Brooks has no choice but to tuck in behind Rubelar, which slows him back down again.
It's not helpful at all, as you say, quite easily to see that there. So meanwhile, Fraga leading the way on these soft tyres. He wants to sell those as soon as possible. He's put in a 7.9-second lead over Mikail Hizal in 2nd position. Don't forget, of course, Igor Fraga has already qualified for the grand final in Monaco. He did that, of course, in World Tour 2 last time out. Andrew Brooks into the pit lane in 3rd position. He goes on to the medium compound here, Jimmy.
The strategy is just how long do you stay on the medium, because the hard compounds are going to shed, it seems, as quick as you can. So it's how long you can make the medium last, and then how long you can make the soft tyre last. So, we'll see what the hard drivers will do with that. Miyazono, currently, he was someone who put him very early on, one of 4 pitters so far, currently in 2nd place, now coming up to the back of Manny Rodriguez, who's on that hard compound. Look at the speed there, 310k's, 313k's, that's nearly 200 mile an hour, hard on the anchors now, coming into Lake Cobb, just breaking at the curb on the left, and there you go, nice move by Miyazono, up into 6th position, maybe hitting early paid off.
It's good. Miyazono has been very impressive here today in this Nations Cup event. Hugely exciting, we've seen him do so well, and he's kept relatively quiet out there on track in terms of the on-track action, but he's been there and thereabouts, and exactly what we like to see from Miyazono, now up into 6th position, just behind his fellow countryman actually, Ryo Kokiban there, who is in 5th place as well. So down towards Pouon we go once again, lap 4 out of 20. Now the crucial thing is here, Jimmy, when are these guys going to blink in terms of their pit stops? Miyazono has already made that pit stop, as we can see on track here, but what about Fraga, Hizal, Lukovsky and Lopez? Because Fraga and Lopez, of course, soft compound tyres, Hizal, Lukovsky, medium compound tyres.
It's a tricky one to call this, because we know how quick everyone around here is on every compound of tyre pretty much, but it seems like that soft tyre really is, I think it's a lot quicker than we've seen, Tom, from the graphic. I think it's a lot quicker because Mikail Hizal is not 9 seconds over 4 laps slower than Igor Fraga. And I think that when we do see the transition, that will be the point where we know how this race is going to end up. Now, importantly, for Hizal and Lukowski, who I think give the best effort, and I'll go back to that in a second, as Nico Rubler goes a long way round of Blanchimont past Jonathan Wong. You don't see that very often. That is down to that soft compound tyre, still working very well on the Chilean's Red Bull X2019. And Coco Lopez picking up a penalty, seemingly, I'm going to guess, for track limits.
Yeah, it seems to be the way. There it is, 1 second for Coco Lopez. Far from ideal for the Spaniard. Just to remind you, by the way, even if Igor Fraga does win here today, it does still mean that it doesn't mean that, for example, that if Hizal, Lukowski, or whoever finishes in second place, they will then take that spot for the grand final, the world final, I should say, in Monaco later on this year. Essentially, it just means that Igor Fraga takes up 2 spots and 2 wins, so that is what that represents. So we'll keep an eye out and see how things go regarding that one at the moment, because Igor Fraga is doing a really good job, great strategy and great pace he's got behind the wheel of that. He's still able to extend that lead crucially at the moment over Mikail Hizal. Here is Coco Lopez then. He's just coming into the penalty zone here, Jimmy, and this is a really crucial part of the lap through turn 9 down into towards Pool 1.
Yes, acceleration zone there, so for a second you are completely off the power on the brakes. You can see the difference that makes. The gap goes from about 3 or 4 tenths per second all the way up to 2 seconds there. It really does slow you down, so of course that deters our drivers going out there and being cheeky to try and play by the rules out there now. So we're on lap 5 right now. Igor Fraga still making that soft tyre run. Mikail Hizal on the medium, Cody on the medium. Now I'm going to guess we're going to see Mikail Hizal try and I'm not sure what's going to go next. I would say probably go for the hard compounder tyre next and then go for a fast finish, because I think he's going to need that with Fraga, unless Fraga goes for the hard compounder tyre. You see, it's a high-speed chess game, and it all usually climaxes in a very scary finish.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? It's a case of if you go for the hard compounder tyre, do you want to be on that for as short a time as possible? You're going to try to prolong the middle stint, or do you go and do it, for example, for 1 lap like Miyazono did? He got those tyres off very early doors, didn't he? Probably unintentionally, we have to go ahead as well, because he flipped out wide at the bus stop at chicane. Meanwhile, just at the forefront of your shot there, you can see Igor Fraga leading the way very comfortably so far. That gap now up to 11.3 seconds. What a masterful performance for Fraga as things stand. It's been hugely impressive for him to be doing so well. And Mikail Hizal, who's on that medium compound of tyres, we know that there's a big differential in terms of pace. 1.3 seconds expected lap time difference between the racing soft and the racing medium tyres. However, 11.6 seconds over 6 laps wrong, I should say, is very big indeed.
It is, and the comparison for that is Coco Lopez, who's currently the highest running soft runner other than Fraga. Here comes Miyazono from that position on Ryota Kokiba. Thank you very much, mate. Easy as that. He's liking that. Seems to be on the camel straight, and up the inside of Blake on, and that's another place safe. A fantastic drive there from Miyazono. He's come from the back of the field after an early stop up to 5th, and with 1 stop done already.
He's at the end of lap 1, he's got that hard compound tyre out the way. The good thing is he's very quick on these medium compound tyres, is Miyazono, and he's going to have the softer compound tyres at the very end of this race. So this could be a masterstroke of performance. Now here is Rubler flashing the lights against Manuel Rodriguez. He was setting his way down the inside into Leku. Nicely done there from Rubler. Slots himself back in front into the braking zone and is into 7th position here in this race. Both those drivers haven't pitted there yet as well. Rubler, of course, on the soft compound, Rodriguez on the harder compound of tyres, and now here are the Japanese commentators in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, as you can see. Give us a little bit of a wave as they look at Takuma Miyazono. Is he going to be able to upset any of the apple cart here, because he's got the faster compound of tyres towards the end of this race, and that could be very important indeed.
Always very quiet reserve, those guys, aren't they? Very good accurate commentary.
Compare it to stage left with the Italians.
Yeah, exactly. That's you can't have a contrast. I'm pretty sure they're going over the Italians after a little while, but he is Miyazono. Again, a good run for him up to 5th. Now, can he chase down Lopez in front? The gap just over 4 seconds. And of course, the lap around here is roughly around 2 minutes, or 1:56 for Coco Lopez around there. So it's a long lap around here. 20 laps is not a short distance. It's almost half a Grand Prix distance. So this drivers really have to concentrate for a long time. Now, here we go. Manuel Rodriguez coming into the pits, getting rid of that hard compound tyre and going from the medium. So he's spent 6 laps in the hard, and now suspect we'll see a similar distance on the medium and then go for a fast finish on the softs. But, I mean, good and bad, he's going to have a bit of free air when he comes down the pit lane, but he's a long way off the back of the field right now.
Taking a lot of fuel on board here as well, crucially, as you can see there, just fueling his car up towards the end of this race, so opting to do that fuel strategy now whilst he changes from hard onto the medium compound tyres there. Jimmy not on his second pit stop in this race when he changes over to the final compound tyres that he'll need to use being the softs.
Look at the mini-map. Look at that does his position. I think what he's trying to do is just get himself some free air and just drive a bit of some hot laps. Hopefully that'll help him out. Meanwhile, Lopez has pulled back on to this little duo here of Mikail Hizal and Cody Nikolai-Lakovsky. And it seems that Cody's starting to slow down a little bit now, but doing a good job, both Mick and Cody, on these medium tyres. I think they're starting to go the other way now, as are the tyres on Fraga's X2019 machine. They all have the best of them at this point. They're all just trying to make them now last as quick as they can, whilst having some semblance of performance still being delivered by those Michelin tyres. Now coming out or coming into step, you can see just a concentration of Cody. He always looks very serious when he's racing. He's never a man to really betray any sort of emotion at all. Just sits there and gets some of it, which is probably one of the better traits of him as a driver.
Yeah, he's always calm, cool and collected, is Cody Nikolai, and even if things don't always go his way, you can guarantee that he will be one to have a kind word to say about most things. Down towards the bus stop chicane we go, hard on the brakes here with Cody Nikolai, then nicely driven there from him. That's such an aggressive curb on that first part of the bus stop here, Jimmy. It can really upset your final part of the lap, can't it?
Yeah, very easy to do that on the curbs. Very big curbs here. These cars are very low, slung to the ground, so hit that, it's a big hit. Oh, in comes Miyazono, by the way, for his putts. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side of the screen, you're seeing the current stage of our Michelin player of the day. So currently we have Fraga, Mikail Hizal and Danny Solis in the top 3. You can vote in that, of course, yourself at home. Tom knows the hashtag. I've forgotten.
Yes, it's Michelin, hashtag Michelin FIA GTC.
That's why you're the lead commentator, Tom.
Something like that. It's about the only thing I do know, Jimmy, to be honest with you. So Miyazono out of the pits, then onto the soft compound tyres now. 12 laps on the soft compound tyres. That's a bold strategy, isn't it? Because the effective laps duration expected here in the final of this, 5 laps.
Well, we've you know what, they've been... I'm going to give whoever prepares the strategy slide a bit of stick here and say they've been right for a while. I mean, we usually see our drivers really push that tyre a lot longer than it's meant to go, of course, and that's really down to driver skill and just being kind to the tyre. I mean, it's very easy to go out there and scrub the tyre hard, especially like a corner like Rivage. If you're understeering, you want to just turn the wheel a bit more and force the car to turn. But it's in these kind of cars, it's very precise driving. It's fingertip driving, just to make sure you be as smooth and precise as possible. You can't force these cars, otherwise you just burn the tyres, especially if you're on that softer compound. They'll go very quickly.
Yeah, they certainly will. Now, here is Igor Fraga. When is he going to blink? I was saying, actually, about the average tyre expectancy of being 5 laps. Igor Fraga has been, of course, on those soft tyres since the start of the race, 8 laps in. So, complete contrast to that expected tyre life. Now, Fraga, does he pit this time around? No, he does not. He goes on to start lap number 9 then. Yeah.
He's getting close to having a full pit stop at this point to be in front of the guys in front. So here's Mikail Hizal. He's starting to pull away a little bit from Cody. We kind of see Cody pull back in every now and then, but I think the slipstream helps him out. He's almost out of slipstream range. Mikail Hizal into the pits and second place, blinks first. Does Cody follow him? He does not. So what was Mick going to do? Mick going to the hard. So he's going to go for a short middle stint. Cody does the same thing, so they're going to both go for a fast finish, and now it's up to Fraga to try and get as much space as possible between these two guys. He's going to be a sitting duck at the end if they manage to catch up.
Well, the thing is with Fraga, does he go from the softs to the hard compound tyres, have another short medium stint, hard stint rather, and then go on to the mediums at the end of the race, and he's got more pace? How do you think he's going to have to play this one out?
If it were me, with the amount of life Fraga's got out of his soft tyres, it would be come in now, get the hards on for 1 lap, back out on the mediums. That's the fuel strategy, of course. Our drivers having to take fuel as well to make the end of this race, and it is important. The longer you stay in the pit lane, the longer you're stationary, more time losing on track. So getting that right is very important in the last position.
Jimmy here, look, because Cody Nikolai's emerged in 8th position, Mick Hizal still in 3rd place. Both of those drivers have pitted at the same time. So whether Nikolai
he's put fuel in,
hasn't he? Yeah, put more fuel in board, hasn't he?
Oh, hello.
Hello, there's Jonathan Wall, just going a little bit wide. Rio Koki, one of those drivers going side by side into the right hand and nearly, not quite close enough to make anything stick. A little bit wide there for Nikolai. Now that's important for Nikolai. He's in traffic here, whereas Mick Hizal, he's got a bit of a gap to Koke Lopez just in front.
This could be it. I think maybe not taking time to make. What he's trying to do is be quicker on this soft, sorry, on this hard compound, I'll put it right here, hard compound tyre, and really just being as well. Damage limitation on that hard compound, so he's going to stay out there. And of course, as you said, Cody is emerged in traffic, which is a disaster, especially if you're quicker than the guys in front, and he's on the hard compound tyre, so getting past him is going to be tricky. Now, will Fraga come into the pit lane? Will he go around again?
He does. He comes in. He pits. So Fraga does pit now. Crucially, what type of tyre does he go on to? Does he take on fuel this time around? He's got to. He's got 21 litres in. He has to. Go to the hard compound tyres. Yeah, absolutely right there, Jimmy. So, again, a shorter middle stint. Sensible choice there from Fraga, although he's on the slower compound tyres because Hizal and Lukowski will be on the soft compound tyres. He'll still have the medium, so he'll still have some representative pace, but not a lot.
He's not taking any fuel, so I think what he's going to do is go round, maybe do a lap or two, and come back in, bolt on those medium tyres and go to the end. He knows that the soft tyres will do 8 laps, the mediums will do a couple more. Lopez in the pits, he goes into the mediums, as does Rubelar, who's charging from the back of the field. So now things starting to liven up. I wonder if we're going to see the same strategy from Mick. Is he going to go round, come back
Lukowski's in? Lukowski's in as well here, Jimmy.
Straight onto the soft.
Yeah, straight onto the soft, and he's taking fuel on board as well. So that is going to be him to the end of the race then here, Lukowski. So he goes from the hards to the soft compound tyres. Get them out the way. Don't need them. Done. Out the race. And let's see how he's going to emerge, where he's going to emerge. The good thing is, because he did such a short stint, he hasn't lost too much time in comparison to Mick.
He's come right out, though, behind Rubelar. So they've both had... Rubelar's only had one pit stop, but now he's behind Rubelar. This is not going to be great for him. Brooks and Lopez going side by side right now as well. The Portuguese guys like that in the bottom left-hand corner. Brooks there goes defensive, and Lopez then darts out, sells him a dummy up the inside. Thank you very much. There, that's done. I am trying to figure out what these guys are all thinking right now. Jonathan Wong, yet to pit.
Yeah, absolutely right. Now, crucially here, Jimmy, Fraga and Hizal, are they going to, because Hizal's continued on for one more lap than Lukowski, are they going to go on to another compound tyre at the end of this lap? Are they going to pit? So, Fraga's got an 18-second advantage over Mikail Hizal. Now, even if Mikail Hizal is, say, a second a lap faster, 2 seconds a lap faster, he's not going to have time to catch up with Fraga here, I don't think.
They need to do it now because they've got Miyazono, especially Hizal, Miyazono right up behind the German driver. He does not need a fight right now, and I think that they need to be reacting to Cody, who's on the soft tyre. If Cody can get a bit of free air, which I think he has, he can just go out and lap. Fraga, what's he going to do? Goes round again on the hard compound tyre. Interesting. So let's see if Mick does the same. Miyazono now, of course, he's had his last stop. He's out on that soft tyre till the end now. This is basically the position. He has to go as far as he can in the soft tyre. Miyazono might have played a masterstroke. There he goes up the inside into second place. And there's 18 seconds between him and Fraga and no more stops to make. In comes Hizal. He's reacting as oh no, he's knowing now that soft tyre Miyazono is going to go to the end. He's coming to the soft compound himself. This could be a masterstroke from Miyazono.
This is a thinking man's race, isn't it? A Miyazono who's absolutely mastered the thoughts of what you need to be able to do. You can see him driving there. You can see Mikail Hizal in the pit lane. He takes his fuel on board here as well. Now, where is Hizal going to emerge in this race as Lukowski gets up to fourth? Everybody else in the pits there. You can see Wong, Kokibun, Brooks and Hizal all in the pits. A lot of fuel being taken on board there for Hizal. Yeah, where is he? This is the crucial thing. So coming into that, out of that column, there's Lukowski. There he is. So he's not managed to jump Hizal here.
He'll have to turn up the hill though, and he also has the run out of the source as Hizal was slow out of the pit lane. So now here we go, sprint to the line. We have Miyazono on the soft compound tyre. We have Hizal on the soft compound tyre. Cody Lukowski in the background also on the soft compound tyre. And it's now a game to try and catch Igor Fraga, who needs to 1, make a pit stop, and 2, try and get to the end on a medium compound tyre, which is slower than the hard compound he is currently on. So there is Cody Lukowski, right up behind Mick Hizal. There is Fraga, our current race leader. This is all going to come together in a big clash at the end, and I wonder who's going to come good. Here is Hizal then coming through to No Name, using all the curve there on the right-hand side, trying to extend the track. Lukowski a bit wide there, getting onto the slippy stuff, and now into Pouon. Just a downshift. Chuck the car to the inside. Look at the soft grip here, right out there, back on the power. You're doing about 270 k's before you're coming into the final chicane. Does Fraga come in?
Yes, he does. Yeah, goes on to the soft compound of tyres. Sorry, the hard compound of tyres. The medium compound. I'll get there in the end. There's only 3. We've got to pick one.
Fuel.
Yeah, 4 litres. He timed that. He had to pit. He had no other choice, didn't he, Igor Fraga? Now, where is he going to emerge against Miyazono? Miyazono, of course, has got the soft compound of tyres. He's got more pace at the end of this one. I'm going to call it now. I think Miyazono is going to try and battle for the lead. Has he gone ahead? Let's have a look. Is that a graphical error? Let's see. He's taking fuel on board. This is crucial here for Igor Fraga's race. Where is Miyazono, though?
He's at the source right now. Let's see. So he's coming around the source. Miyazono, I think.
He's done it.
Miyazono's got the lead.
He's done it. Takuma Miyazono, who's taken the lead away, and also look at Koke Lopez. Okay, he's not made a second stop, but he's up into second. Wong also ahead there as well. But Takuma Miyazono, against all the odds, now leads the way. Things have gone very pear-shaped indeed for Igor Fraga here. He's going to have to drive out of his skin in the latter half of this race. 8 laps now remain here at Spa-Francorchamps, and out of the pits we go. Igor Fraga emerges in third.
Mick Hizal 4 seconds behind now, so that is the gap. Fraga on the slower compounder tyre, if what we know is true from before. Hizal and Lukowski should bring that gap down fairly quickly, but Miyazono has a 12-second lead. It'll be 16 seconds once Lopez pits. I have no idea how he's managed that, but this is going to be his race. It's now his race to lose, unless the guys behind can somehow come back. Of course, he's been running that soft tyre for an awful long time, so there's a big risk it could go off before the end. But with that kind of gap, I mean, it's hard to look past him now.
At the end of this race, he'll have done 12 laps on that soft compounder tyres. Now, we saw that Igor Fraga did 9 laps on them, so I think he's relatively safe in terms of that, unless those tyres fall off a cliff at the end of this one. I don't think it is going to be anything to worry about for Takuma Miyazono. And what a race he's driven, what a brilliant strategy. We thought it was unusual. He came into the pits at the end of lap 1 for those hard compound of tyres, but he went ugly early. He got them out of the way, and then he went on to the mediums. Now he's on the softs, and this is a masterstroke.
That's the thing, I don't know if it was a good strategy or not, or if it was helped by someone else. It seemed that he got biffed off into the pit lane on the first lap, so it may well have been that. But well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll say he meant to do it. But you can see through there, look at the slip and sliding, and we're just again seeing just how damaging the hard tyre is around here. I mean, you want to get off it as quick as you can. It's so slow, it seems. Maybe it needs to be a little bit quicker. Here's Koke Lopez, so he's going to be coming to the pits shortly now. Nope, goes round again. He still has the hard tyre left to use, so he has one more stop, so the guys behind will all be promoted. Fraga then, that gap from Mikail Hizal has gone down from 4.6 seconds to 2.6 seconds. That's how much quicker the soft tyre is than the medium.
Well, there we are. This is a race that has come down to strategy. Then again, as we said earlier on, it's been a thinking man's race. This one has been. It's been a case of trying different things and working out exactly how it's going to work. And I can guarantee that there were some furious calculations going on with the drivers before this race, working out how they had to tackle it.
I think that Miyazono is still lapping quicker than Fraga.
I'd love to see a timed lap, actually, and
he's still lapping faster. If I'm looking at the relative right, I think he gained about 1.5 seconds on Fraga there like that. And now, so here's Mick. Now, if you're Mikail Hizal, you need to get by Fraga as quickly as you can, and then find some sort of pace that you have never found before if you have any hope of catching Miyazono, our current leader. And I think admittedly between us, Tom, not someone that we thought would be in the top 3 here. Go on.
I've just heard information in my ear. Crucially, Takuma Miyazono is running out of fuel.
Okay, so he's low on fuel. Well, there you go. So he didn't fuel up. So really, Miyazono needs to come into the pit lane. We've just been told by our stewards that he's low on fuel there. So
this is an absolute blunder for Miyazono. He could be throwing what is a near guaranteed race win away here, Jimmy.
And that means that really it will be between Fraga, Hizal and Lukowski. Let's see what happens here. Because if that is the case, he needs to pit very soon, or he's going to be trundling around the circuit when he's run out of fuel. We thought he'd done something masterful there, but that does explain a lot. I thought that the hard tyre was that bad.
2 fast pit stops, didn't he? Of course he did, yeah.
Let's see what happens. In he comes, so Miyazono into the pit lane. That means it's now going to be a fight between Fraga, Hizal and Lukowski. Koke Lopez needs to pit as well, and at the moment Hizal's in the hot seat. He's taking the second lap.
1 litre. That 1 litre of fuel. The upshot is he's got soft tyres, but he's taking on fuel. This is going to take an absolute age. Lopez is going to take up the lead. Now, where is Miyazono going to emerge? Keep an eye out here. Yeah, Hizal's through, Fraga's through, Lukowski's through. Miyazono has thrown this away. I can't believe it. Absolute disaster there for Takuma Miyazono. He's going to drop massively down here. Lukowski goes through. Rubilar's not made a pit stop, so he'll emerge back into 5th place in this race. We all thought he pulled a masterstroke off, and it's just he hadn't taken any fuel on board. He had 2 blindingly fast pit stops, and that's how he was able to bring out that advantage.
What a development here at New York, the grand final of the Nations Cup. We thought it was all said and done, but we just found out that Miyazono running it low on fuel, and now here is the effective battle for the lead. It's going to come down to the wire once again here. Fraga currently leading, but is being harried and caught hand over fist by Mikail Hizal behind. Only 7/10 now between him and the Brazilian driver Lukowski there in the background too. Could this finally be the time Mikail Hizal takes a win here at one of these events? Of course, Koke Lopez, who is currently leading, still is yet to pit. It's 2 stops the minimum in this lap, and look how hard the German driver is trying. He can feel it now. He goes, right, this is the last person I've got to get by. In the background, Lukowski spins. Lukowski span there on the curb. Oh, it's all over for Cody. Here comes Miyazono. Oh, the block.
Oh, no! Big contact there, Miyazono into the wall.
Cody.
Down at Powon. Oh, my goodness me. Cody moved across the line there. Miyazono went straight into the scene of the accident, and that has put the two drivers out of contention here in this race.
100% on Cody. You can't be doing that. You can't be slow and then dive to the inside as someone goes through. I will not be surprised if we see a big penalty there, and unsurprisingly under investigation. So that means it's now down to 2. It's Fraga, it's Hizal, the heavyweights here at the GT World Tour events, and now going head-to-head at the new Spa, coming very soon for you guys at home. But it's all now this. Hizal's going to have the slipstream, but he's going to have the dirty air for the first part of the course. If he's quick through the source here, he might have a run at Fraga coming down to Lake On. Let's see what happens.
Well, this has been a race of two halves, hasn't it? We all thought it was over 5 laps ago. We thought that Miyazono had pulled a masterstroke of a strategy, and the upshot is now that Fraga versus Hizal for the race lead. Christmas come early, and then some for Mikail Hizal. He has got the chance here, the best chance ever he has had to qualify for the World Final in Monaco in November.
Here comes the toe. Down to 0.2 of a second, not quite close enough for the move. 1/10 of a second nearly there, and you'd see how important it is to be in the slipstream coming up the Kemmel Straight. Hizal now right on the rear spoiler of Igor Fraga, and Lukowski, unsurprisingly, given a massive 10-second penalty.
And the applause there of the audience, it speaks volumes, doesn't it, there for Cody Lukowski. There is the Australian driver, a shake of the head from him, but through into that left-hander, down in towards Pouon we go. 4.5 laps left remaining, as we can see then Igor Fraga defending. Here's the move then again, right, so let's see what will happen here. Into the left-hander of turn 9, Lukowski rotates it round. That's not the important part of this one. What happens is when he returns onto the track, he moves onto the track, he then comes over onto the racing line here. He's slowing himself down, but here we go, look, yeah, he moves over.
You can't do that.
You can't do that at all, no. And Miyazono, nowhere to go.
You can't do that, Cody. That's a real shame. Cody's really been coming on recently in his driving. Yeah, well, but that's not
Leave that there and we'll move on, because this is the battle we're talking about between Fraga and Hizal. 0.7 of a second it now is. Now, can Fraga do anything? Can he extend that advantage? Has he got the pace behind him? Because these guys pitted relatively similar sort of times to one another, didn't they?
You're noticing that...
but Hizal's on the soft tyres as well.
Hizal drops back for the middle sector. He can't hang with Fraga with that dirty air. He can take his time here. If he is this close coming out of the source, he will have the run coming into Lake Com. So it's just about being cool right now and collected. Coco Lopez still out front though. He's yet to pit. So keep that in mind. The fight is essentially for these two for the win. He's right on the back of Fraga. Fraga drops by and lets him go. Oh, I know what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and slingshot back, I think. I think he knows that he's not going to get him coming up to Lake Com, so he's dropped back in anticipation. And now he's 4/10 behind Fraga, so going to try and get by on the slipstream and then lead for the middle sector. An interesting tactic. Hizal goes to the inside defensive. Here comes Fraga then to the outside. He's going to go to the outside, try and get by there side by side. Hizal's got the inside line. This is your battle for the lead, and he goes round the outside. My word, but he's wide.
Oh, he's wide, yeah, into the left-hander of Lake Com, and then into the right we go. Fraga now defending Hizal, trying to attack. This is brilliant as we come down in towards turn 8. No way through there for Hizal. Fraga, brilliant there. Absolutely fantastic tactics. We know how much of a thinking man that Fraga can be, and that proves it in bucket loads there. Fantastic stuff from him.
I do wonder though if that's all right. Is it okay to get off the barrel to do that and try and have this kind of tactics going on in a normal racing situation? That could be deemed dangerous, so I don't really know. I mean, it's a great idea and it definitely worked out here. But now it's Mikail Hizal, and you're seeing how much he struggles through the middle. He just falls back even though he has that tyre advantage.
I don't think it's a problem there for Fraga to do what he did. He was off the racing line. It wasn't in a dangerous position that he was doing that. He didn't hold up Hizal and force him to go off the racing line there. So I think that was fairly okay. But you can see just how much of an advantage Fraga's got in that middle sector, and Hizal's just not able to close up. Look, he's not happy though, Fraga. He's not happy with those tactics.
I think he shares my opinion. I'm not sure. Well, we'll see. I'm not a steward. Anyway, 0.8 of a second. Again, using that draft to come back in again. He needs to get within about half a second or so coming out of the source. This is where he can do it. This is where the car is better through the slow stuff. He's got the soft compounded tyre, more traction. And Fraga sideways there out of the exit, and he's going to have the draft down the straight. This could be it, I think. We'll see. So it's 0.6 of a second now coming into the source, late on the brakes. This is where the soft tyres will come into play. Will Fraga do the same again?
No, he doesn't. I think that was just a one-off there. I think if it had been a repetitive thing, that's when it would have become an issue there for the stewards with Igor Fraga. But, well, he knew that he was a sitting duck on that straight now, and he is going to be a sitting duck once again, up through Eau Rouge, through Radillion, and then onto that straight we go. Look at the drive. Mikail Hizal has gone onto the Camel straight. We come then.
Fraga slowed down over the top.
Yeah, it looks like he did lift a little bit there for him, but of course, bear in mind, tyres as well, giving the benefit of the doubt. Fraga going for the inside line, Hizal on the outside, side by side, they come down towards Lake Coombe. Fraga defends, he pushes out Mikail Hizal wide, he pushes him onto the curb in Lake Coombe. Wow, aggressive driving there from Igor Fraga, and he holds on to the lead here of this race. It's the battle for second, but it's the de facto race lead because Koke Lopez, who's leading, don't forget, is still going to make one more stop.
I think that was a fair move. That was a rough move by Fraga, but a rude one, but a fair one. Well, yeah, I'm not sure. I'd love to see his inputs going over the top of Radillion there and see if he lifted, because Hizal caught very quickly there over the top and seemingly ran into the back of Fraga, and now that gap extends again. I don't really know.
Fraga is not happy down there. Sorry, Igor is not. Sorry, apologies. I'll get it right eventually. Mikail is not happy down there at all. You can see the frustration there on his face. He's got a face like trying to send him double glazing at the moment. He is not very pleased at all with Fraga's tactics out there on track. And well, it's down to the stewards to deem whether they think that anything is amiss with them. You can see Fraga there just to the left-hand side of your picture as well.
I'd say that if they're going to give Cody something for blocking, and if Fraga did lift at the top, that's also blocking. So we'll see. But they see 2 seconds in the middle sector alone. Hizal really dropping off now. Has he made a mistake?
I don't know. We didn't see it.
He's dropping right off. Has he run out of fuel?
Something gone wrong here for Mikail Hizal. Let's see what is happening here. Well, yeah, something's definitely gone wrong here for Mikail Hizal. 3.2 seconds in the space of half a lap. Now, what has gone wrong here for Mikail Hizal? We saw him take on fuel earlier.
I think he's dropped off. I don't think he's happy. I think he's going, you know what?
Doing it out of frustration, you think?
Possibly. I don't know. It's an interesting one to call. He needs to be careful, though, because Miyazono's there in the background. Hizal, I don't know.
It's too close to call, isn't it? Yeah, it really is difficult to call. Nicholas Rublar into the pits. He goes from the medium to the whole compound of tyres in the closing stages then of this race. Puts a little bit more fuel on board his X2019. There is Hizal. There is the frustration on the German-Turkish driver's face. Yeah, apologies there if you can read his lips, because he is not happy at all after that. And, well, we will, I'm sure, hear from him after that incident out on track. But Koke Lopez still leads the way. He is in front on the medium compound of tyres. He has only made that one pit stop, so he's gone really long. What a great middle stint here from Koke Lopez as well. Great driving there from the Spaniard. We've hardly mentioned it because we've been focusing on the battle for the race lead. But Igor Fraga there in second position. Looks like he's on the way to take victory in this grand final in New York for World Tour 3.
Do you think we're going to see a Schumacher-esque drive-through penalty going on here, where Lopez comes in on the at the last
lap of the race,
and puts on the hard compound of tyres and comes across the line? Maybe there's something in that.
Silverstone 98 all over again. He's got 5 seconds, but how much fuel has he got on board there? If he's got to take fuel on board, Koke Lopez, then it won't be anything that he's going to be able to do. But I'm really interested in that actually there, Jimmy. That is hugely fascinating. Is he going to do it here on this lap 18 out of 20? Either way, as we said, a very, very, very long middle stint on these medium compound of tyres.
We'll see. I mean, I'm not sure that's going to be enough time for him to do that. The line is very close. He knows. He comes into the pit lane now, so that's that done.
There we are. Koke Lopez does pit now. What's he going on to? 2 litres of fuel. He had to. Yeah, no choice there. So he's got to take fuel and he's got to take hard tyres on. That's him out of the battle for the race lead then, isn't it? But what about Mikail Hizal? Because Hizal... Oh, he does get ahead. There we go. So yeah, Mikail Hizal into second position there. Where is Koke Lopez going to emerge in this race? If he didn't have to take fuel on, he might have been in contention for a podium here, but because he had to take... Oh, he's very close. Oh, there is Hizal. There's Hizal. Hizal goes through then. So he's in third. Is Koke Lopez. And does he emerge in third? Is Miyazono close? No, he's not close enough. So Koke Lopez then, with that very long middle stint on the medium compound of tyres, emerges with just 2 laps now remaining on the hards. And if he can just hold off the charge of Takuma Miyazono on the softs behind, he'll be on the podium in third place.
I've got to say, whilst I would share maybe some of mixed frustration, I'm not sure why he's backed off. There's still a race going on. Get involved. You know, you can moan about it afterwards. You're 4 seconds off from the soft compound of tyre. If you're going to just let it lie, then you're going to finish second.
Well, we didn't see what happened on screen, Jimmy. He could have made a mistake. He could have been one reason or another. But
he was just dropping off. I was watching in the background. He's just not on the power, not seeming to really care. And it's still coming off the back now. this is the thing with Hizal. We've noticed that he kind of defeats himself mid-race. He just kind of goes, you know what, I can't win this, and then just basically just stops trying.
It's not the first time we've seen an incident like that, is it,
No.
though? So let's keep an eye out, see what happens. Well, I'm sure here from Mikail Hizal, we've got the extra lap show coming up after this one. If we can manage to keep Fraga and Hizal separated from one another, we'll put another competitor in between. We'll hopefully get both of their thoughts following this race. Well, don't forget, of course, you can still vote for the Michelin Driver of the Day, hashtag Michelin FIA GTC, and get involved with the conversation. Let us know who you think your driver of the day has been. What about Jonathan Wong? He's been very impressive, slowly crept his way through the semi-finals, and of course coming into the final here this afternoon. 8th position for him, not bad at all.
Eau Rouge trying to drift the Red Bull X2019 there for the Fraga and Seidell. I wouldn't recommend that, mate. It's a downforce car. It doesn't like going sideways. Manny Rodriguez there in the background, so there's still going to be a battle here for the line. Rubler, what could have been? What could have been for Nico Rubler? Suffered at the start of the race, and Mick Rodriguez sideways into the wall left of Stavlo 2. Just got on the power too hard. There's Danny Solis. You might see Rodriguez in front of us now. Well, I was about to say you might get to the 10th position there, but he just, wow, that's a big hit there for Rodriguez, and there goes his 10th position fight.
Well, there we go, and he's going to come under pressure from Danny Solis, who could make his way up to 11th and does make his way into 11th position, but Rodriguez fights it back into the bus stop chicane. Here, though, is Igor Fraga on the final lap of the grand final of the Nations Cup. What a great race it has been for Fraga. Some would question his moves out there on track, some would call them too aggressive, some would say his conduct on track is not sportsmanlike, but regardless, you can't fault his pace behind the wheel of that Red Bull X2019. And it's been good to see him performing so well once again here. Really interested to see what happened to Mikail Hizal. Again, we're not entirely sure what happened. Jimmy thinks he might have backed off. He could have had a technical problem that we didn't see on screen, something along the lines of that. It does happen from time to time, but, you know, it could be exactly what Jimmy is expecting as well. It remains to be seen. I'm sure we'll find out down the line. And Takuma Miyazono as well here, Jimmy. Well, I don't know. It's difficult to think about this, really, because we thought he pulled a masterclass of strategy in the early to mid stage of this one, but he had such quick pit stops that we didn't notice he hadn't taken any fuel on board.
Yeah, but he's closing in on Coco Lopez quite quickly, nearly 1 second now, only half a lap to go, Tom.
Yeah, could be interesting, couldn't it, here for Takuma Miyazono? Let's keep an eye out, see how he goes on that run through the Fraga chicane, then in through Stavolo for the last time of Austin. Going to come in towards Blanchimont here. Comes towards Blanchimont in a few moments' time. There is Takuma Miyazono. Really good pace he has had behind the wheel of that Red Bull X2019. Onto this straight we go once again. He's not going to be close enough, I don't think, to launch a move unless he just has a superlative drive. Oh, there's a mistake here from Coco Lopez coming in towards that bus stop chicane. But this man here, Igor Fraga, what a drive it has been for the Brazilian. And he comes around the final corner and across the line. Igor Fraga takes victory in the grand final of World Tour 3 here in New York. In the Nations Cup, Mikail Hizal finishes in second, and Coco Lopez finishes in third. Miyazono tries to challenge him in that final corner, and look on the left-hand side of your screen, the face, unfortunately, of dejection from Mikail Hizal. He is devastated following that race, devastated following what could have been as well on the other side of the coin, and quite literally to his left, the elation from Igor Fraga here in Monaco as well. And Danny Solis as well, you can see there just about to come through the final sector.
Let's see if these guys talk to each other. We usually see a handshake afterwards, a lot of stuff going on. Seems that avoiding each other for now.
I think that speaks volumes, doesn't you?
I think so.
In towards the bus stop chicane we go, and Danny Solis, well, he made it through to the final against all the odds. Solis takes 11th place here in New York, the American driver on home soil here. There is Cody Lukovsky. He was given, of course, a 10-second penalty and finishes in 6th position at the checkered flag. There is Igor Fraga. He's down there with Julia, and we'll be talking to them in just a few minutes' time, I am sure, as well. But Igor Fraga.
Yeah, I think Mick is sharing his grievances with some of the guys down there. I mean, what we've set up here has been purely what we've seen. We haven't seen inputs, no telemetry. We're guessing this, but, you know, I think that speaks for itself, really.
It really does, yeah.